Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to give you my review of the Rustic Glam palette from Dominic Cosmetics. When I saw this palette in internet I was instantly curious because it has very different color story of the ones I already have or what's coming out lately. It is gorgeous, as you can see. There is a lot of variety. You can do a lot of different looks with this, and that was the fact why I was so curious about this palette. This is also the first one I'm testing from Dominic Cosmetics, so I was curious about the formula. I've heard great things about the latte palettes and also the berries and creams, I think that's the name of. I was very curious about the formula, what's it like and do I like it. I have now tested all the shades in this palette and I definitely have some thoughts. I already created a look using the blue tones, mostly blue tones and the golden and orange tones. I will probably post it to Instagram later, but I will show it in here first. So you can see that this is very different look than the one I'm wearing today, for example. And today I wanted to test this light pink shade, the purple, and the lighter one of the blue shades. So I decided to create very different. If you want to get a totally neutral look, you can do that. And if you want to deepen it up to very dark look, you can do that as well. So the facts in this palette, this is a cruelty-free palette. I don't know about if it's vegan or not. There is 1.4 grams in every pan, so there is 12 pans in this, and it's made in USA. There is 6 matte shades. Then there is 2 which I would call metallic shades. 2 which are matte but there is a shimmer in it, and then there is 1 which I think is supposed to be metallic shade, but it is so powdery that I cannot say it to be metallic because it doesn't act like a metallic shade. It's the Gypsy, the purple shades. Or the main point I noticed when I tested this palette is that these are very powdery eyeshadows. You get a lot of kickback if you are not gentle with your brush, but luckily it doesn't transfer to your eyes, so when you are applying these matte shades to your eyes you won't get fallout, or at least I didn't. But that said, when you apply these 2 matte shades which have shimmer in it, you will get a ton of shimmer on falling to your cheeks. So definitely if you use those 2, Dreamcatcher and Moonchild, do your eye makeup first and then your face, because you will for sure. Unfortunately these shades just doesn't work as you would want. The shimmer doesn't transfer to your eye look, especially the black one. It is gorgeous in the palette and it's gorgeous when you swatch it, but the shimmer does not transfer to your eyes, but it will fall to your cheeks. So I don't see the point of putting that shimmer. I haven't tried it with glitter glue, so it might be that with glitter glue or very sticky base you get that eyeshadow to perform better. But I hardly ever do that, so I didn't want to take that step either. Also, when I created this look and I used the Gypsy, the purple shade, I did get quite a lot of fallout, so just be careful with these shades. The 2 which I think are true metallic, the golden or more like a bronzed bohemian and green based wanderlust, they perform beautifully. So I did get quite good application using only a natural hair brush. Maybe if you wet your brush or you use your finger you get even more metallic shades, but I hardly ever want to get that really shining metallic because it's on my eyelid, and as you can see, you cannot see my eyelid, so there's no point of doing that extra step to get a really blinding metallic when you just cannot see it. So I'm content with this kind of metallic shadows for sure. I really enjoy these shades and the formula, even that they are quite powdery, and they are not, how would say, they are very pigmented, but you still need to build these up when you do your makeup. You can see when I'm doing this makeup look that I really need to apply, for example, the pink wildflower quite many times to get the color payout I really want. But the good news is, of course, that these are much more easier to use because you really need to build this up so you won't get that trouble when you get too much pigment and then you have problems to blending it off. This is for sure a palette that if you don't have the how to say, imagination to create your eye looks, this might be a bit overwhelming because it's such a strange color story, so you might have difficulties to create looks. That said, they have, at least to me, they have done that great thing that if you look these as duos, you can easily get quite easy looks. You can just put the lighter shade in the lid and deepen it out, or add in a little bit of brightener, this metallic shade on the lid. So as if you think these as duos, it is surprisingly easy to use and easy to create the looks. So there is also that point which is quite interesting. But I think that this is still quite difficult palette to use based on the color story. But for me, it does have interesting shades, and I actually can see me traveling with this one because there is these neutral shades, but there is also those pop of colors, which I really like to use in my everyday makeup. Just a little bit of color here and there is always. I will show you the tutorial how I create this look, so you can see how these shadows apply on skin, and you can also see the little bit of fallout I get from the purple shade. And I will come back with my final thoughts with this one. I start layering the pink shade Wildflower on my crease and start to kind of form the shape of my eye. And this is now the second time I take more, and this is the third time I take more of the eyeshadow. So I really need to layer this up to get the color payout I want. And now the fourth time. So you can see that there is that kind of strange pigmentation thing. Also with the blue Dreamcatcher, at first it's a bit patchy, but when I take more and I have dry brush in this, I can get quite good color payout. And also the same thing with the purple shade Gypsy. The first layer is sheer and patchy, but when you layer it up you can get really opaque color. And then when I have placed these colors, I just start to blend these together and take that shade, the Gypsy shade, a bit to the crease to create more like a shape to my eyes. So that's pretty much the upper lid, not much anything fancy. On lower lid I try to use the shade Cactus, which is the green shade, but as you can see there wasn't that much result. And I changed now to the blue Dreamcatcher and blend it out with the Wildflower. And when I have blended this shade, I deepen this look, adding a little bit more of the blue shade and the purple Gypsy shade, and then just blend these all together, and that's the eye look. So that was the look. As you can see, it was quite easy, even though I needed to blend it a bit and everything, but considering the fact that I did use blue toned shadows and kind of bright shadows, which tend to be quite easy to use, I think that this was quite easy look to create. But as my final thoughts, I personally really like this palette. I would rather have those black and light blue shades without the shimmer. It's pointless to have those annoying shimmers falling to your cheeks when you do your makeup. I would have rather had a very beautiful kind of purplish black or something like that. They do look stunning, but there's just no point of having those. I really love the matte shades, and I think I need to test the latte palette as well. Surprisingly, when I went through my eyeshadow palettes lately when I moved, I realized that I have hardly any totally neutral palettes, like totally brown, especially totally brown toned neutral palettes. I do have neutrals in cool shades, but I don't have so many, so the latte palette is really tempting to me. I like the variety of the looks. I do enjoy the metallic shades in this one, and there is interesting shades. The dark blue Evil Eye and the pink one, the Wildflowers, are definitely my favorites. They are something I don't have in any of my palettes. And also the olive toned, it's grey olive toned. Cactus is the name. It is quite unique, and I don't have too many green toned shades, so it's really interesting. And I'm pretty sure that these muted tones, the Cactus and the Orange Desert Queen, for example, are really good shades during the fall time, which is coming soon. But overall, I enjoy this palette, but I need to say again that this is not for everyone. If you don't feel like this color story appeals to you, then forget this, because this is so unique kind of combination that if you cannot see yourself using it, you won't be using it. So it's no point getting it. But if you are a person who wants to test pops of color and use neutral tones as well, this might be very good for you. If you don't like powdery shades and those kind of creamy shades, forget this. This has both of those. But if you enjoy those, then you will really like this. Just keep in mind using it very lightly and not to swipe your brush a lot, because it will kind of crumble. For me, that is not a problem. I just tap it slightly and I get enough pigments which I need. So overall, I do enjoy it, but with few notions you need to remember if you consider purchasing things. If you have any questions about this palette, or if you want to see more looks I created, I will post a picture of the blue shade in few days to Instagram. So if you want to see that again from there, you can just check in its Merit of Beauty as well in Instagram. And if you want, I can create more looks with this one as well to Instagram. So let me know if you want to see those. But now I wish you have a great day and see you next time. Bye bye.